Hello, I'm John, and in this video, we talk about the move it or lose it mindset. Why staying active becomes more important when we get older, and 8 reasons why it's important as we get older in life, especially in the middle age and early 30s. Like early 30s to middle age is a huge time where we need to make sure that we stay active. Now, I want to tell you a story about an old gentleman that is a friend of mine that I drove for about 6 months last year when I was doing Uber. I actually volunteered to help him out because his house wasn't very far from my house, and I was Ubering anyways every day, so I would go and pick him up, help him get to his antique shop that he owned. He has owned this shop for 50 plus years here locally near me, and he is 90, I'm pretty sure he's 96. I know he's in his mid 90s, so he's up there. And he gets up 5 days a week and goes in and runs this antique shop and then goes back home. Yes, he is on a walker. He does have a cane that, help him get around as well. I mean, he's 96, but he's still moving. He's still active. He's still putting that, time in to get out there and do something that he enjoys. He's enjoyed this for the last 50 years. The knowledge that he knows was amazing to me. And I think his knowledge and his time has turned my life towards this direction of being more active, trying to lose weight. He was kind of the switch that I needed, because in the last 10 years, I was a manager in a cushy management position for like 6 years in the last 10 years. And I set 40 to 50 hours a week behind a desk, not doing anything other than, I'd say not doing anything. I was managing. But yeah, and I know there's tons of people out there that can relate with that. Coffee, can't do without it. So if you feel up to it and you enjoy this content, feel free to buy me a cup of coffee. That'd be fantastic. Links below in the description. And I drink the cheap stuff. So, all right, guys. So I want to get into the 8 list of why, like what happens when we don't use our bodies. Now, I'm going to be looking down at my computer because I've got a bunch of notes here that I'm going off of. So just bear with me and listen, and maybe write these down if you'd like, or take note of them, because these are serious for sure. And this is definitely, a wake-up call to me. All the research I've done in the past few weeks on the body and why this is so important for us to get active, to get into this mindset and what it does to the mind. I mean, the mind, the bones, the muscles, the breathing, the heart, lungs, all this different stuff, that it helps to stay active. So, number 1, muscle loss starts quickly. Healthy adults can begin losing muscle mass after just 1 to 2 weeks of significant inactivity. That is amazing. Like, you go from active to non-active activity, and you're sitting behind a desk or something daily, and you don't exercise at all, and you just sit behind the desk, and then you go home, you watch TV, you play video games, and you go to sleep. Like, that is that is big time inactivity, and that in 1 to 2 weeks can start losing muscle. You know, losing your muscles in your arms, losing your muscles in your legs, and we need those muscles hugely. Um, in extended inactivity can accelerate age-related muscle loss over time. Less muscle means lower strength, balance, and mobility. I am not good at balance already, and maybe I will get better with all this exercise that I'm doing every day. I'm hoping that I can get better. When I think of balance, I think of yoga or Pilates or something of that sort. But really, we need balance every day in order to stand up. You know, that's balance in itself. But standing on one leg, I probably couldn't do it right now. All right. So, you know, the jab of that first one of, you know, muscle loss starts quickly. Your body is always adapting. If you stop using your muscles, your body assumes you don't need them and starts getting rid of them. I mean, it makes sense. You don't use it, you lose it. I mean, that's the main title of this video. You know, if you it's just like a mechanical tool or something like that. If you don't use it, eventually it's gonna rust. Eventually it's gonna, you know, dry up and all that, and then you're gonna lose those. And that's the same way with our body. If we don't use it, and we don't use it every day, then, you know, it's gonna dry up. It's like a motor in a car. You know, if you let it set for, say, a couple weeks or a month or something like that, and you're not using it, all of those gears, all the oil is dropping to the bottom, and they're not lubricating all those gears. So you're bound to have issues with the motor if you don't use it. That's all right. So number 2 is cardiovascular fitness declines fast. All right, so cardiovascular means your breathing, your health within your aerobic fitness. It can begin dropping within a couple of weeks of inactivity. The heart becomes less efficient, and everyday activities can feel harder. Yeah, harder. Heart is, you know, the heart is our machine. You know, we can't do anything without the heart. So inactivity can put more stress on the heart, especially when we have to walk a mile for a special event or something of that sort. You're just putting more stress on the heart because the body's not used to that. Good one there, for sure, cardiovascular. So the less we move, the harder movement becomes, because the heart's pumping blood through our entire body. So if you're not putting a little stress daily on the heart by exercising, then you're not building that up, and eventually you're gonna have more issues down the line, especially as you get older. All right, number 3, bones. Bones are number 3. Bones become weaker. Bones respond to stress and movement. Weight-bearing activities like walking help maintain bone density, and prolonged inactivity increase the risk of osteoporosis and fractures. I hope I said that right. I don't think I did. Podcast line. So the big line of this is strong bones are earned through movement. Without it, they gradually weaken. That's crazy. Like, just to think of that on the bones, like, inactivity reflects everything in your body, not just your muscles, not just your heart, not just your lungs. It infects your bones as well, and the bones are, how we get around. We can't do without our bones. Our bones are what makes us, on the inside. All right, and number 4 is joints. Joints get stiffer, so we go from bones, that are hooked to our joints. Our joints get stiffer. I know this happens to me. If I sit too long playing a game, or if I sit too long at work, which I don't sit at work anymore, but if I did back, whenever I was early 30s, if I sat too long, I get stiff. Same with cars. If you're in a car, which I did Uber a lot last year, if you're sitting in a car for 10 hours, 12 hours in a day, truck drivers out there, I'm sure y'all get stiff. So activeness can help with that. If you have a 10-hour, 12-hour job in a car or a truck or a van, make sure you're a little active, maybe in the morning or in the evening whenever you get home. So then you're not as stiff when you have to sit for so many hours in a day. But the joints get stiffer. Movement helps lubricate joints and maintain range of motion. Fantastic. Setting for long periods can contribute to stiffness and reduce flexibility. Makes sense. You're not moving it. Just like that engine I was talking about earlier. Motion is lotion for the joints. I love that. Motion is lotion for the joints. That's great. I mean, it puts it plainly in my mind. All right, so number 5 is balance and coordination decline. Now, coordination I've had pretty good. Balance, sorry, try to edit that. All right, number 5. Balance and coordination decline. Coordination, I've had a pretty good coordination. I used to play sports all the time as I was younger. And even today, I've got a pretty good coordination. But balance, I've never had balance. Like I was talking to you earlier, I'm a klutz at times. I'm sure a lot of you can relate with that. But yeah, balance, sometimes it's very hard to walk a line even when I'm sober, which I've been sober for about a week now, so it's fantastic. So the body loses efficiency, imbalance, and coordination when those systems aren't challenged. Makes sense? I mean, if you're not challenging your body to walk more or exercise more or, I don't know, ride a bike, any of that activity like that needs balance for sure. Even walking and stuff. I mean, if you're walking in the woods and stuff like that, or you're going up hills, you're going up rocks, you got to have that balance. If you don't use those and put a little more weight on those joints and on the bones and stuff like that, or on the muscles, oxygen, all that, then all of it is together. It all comes together in the balance and coordination of our bodies. This increases fall risk as people age. So definitely the older, which I mean, it could increase mine too as middle age, especially whenever I get, mid 40s, and even late 40s into 50s and early 50s. Definitely would hurt me on the balance, especially if I'm on a ladder or something like that. If you don't practice balance, eventually balance stops showing up for you. That kind of makes me wonder if I should start some yoga, within my exercising or something like that to help with my balance. That might be something that I need to start, I'm walking 3 miles a day right now. Walking / jogging / running 3 miles a day. I'm hoping to build that up as I get a little further into this 90-day challenge. But definitely adding that balance and coordination, maybe that's something I need to do as well. Maybe that's something you need to do. Maybe you can relate with that as you get older. Now, number six is metabolism slows. Less movement generally means fewer calories burned. That makes sense. Muscle loss further reduces daily calorie expenditure. Yeah. I mean, if you're not putting in the calories, you're not exercising, you're definitely losing muscle, you're losing your metabolic I can't think of the word, but you know what I'm pretty much saying. This can make weight gain easier over time, setting down, losing that movement, and then that generally means fewer calories burned because of that. So yeah, that makes sense, I think. All right, I'm gonna move on from that one, but I mean, it does make sense. I mean, you're not gonna lose as many calories. That's why you put on the weight, and it makes it harder as you go on. It makes it harder on the heart, oxygen as well. Not being able to breathe, especially whenever you're doing just minor activity. Number 7 is increased risk of chronic disease. Now, this one, I think, is a mind-boggling one because there are so many things that can be impacted by not moving. One, you gain weight. Yes, that's where I'm at. I've gained weight. I see that I've gained weight. My mind hasn't been good, which I think that's the next one is the mind. But the whole body, I can feel it in my body. Like after, which I've been exercising for probably about 2 weeks now, a little over 2 weeks. But I've been alcohol free for, it'll be a week on Saturday. So 5 days so far. Well, when you get this, it will be a week. But the increased risk of chronic disease, research consistently links physical inactivity with higher risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, and certain cancers. Whoa, that is crazy. That is a lot, a lot of stuff that can be related to inactivity. Just move. Just get up, do a little movement. 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. I'm figuring out that 45 minutes a day, it's put a little stress on my family time. But my wife is understanding. She knows what I'm doing. She knows why I'm trying to do this, to make myself healthier to where I live longer and so we can travel the world together as a family. And I've found the time. I've made the time. 45 minutes a day is what I've made and actually it's an hour, but 45 to 50 minutes is walking. 15 minutes I've been doing the meditation thing, and I love the meditation thing. You sit down, you meditate, you pray. You can pray to God, or you can just meditate and think about where you want to be in life. So I've taken that time to do those things and make that time for those, and so far it's helped me tremendously. I feel like I can get more done every day. I feel amazing in the mornings. My mind is hammering away at what I need to do here, what I need to do there. You know, right now I'm running two channels, this channel and my gaming channel, and I'm loving it because I have so much creativity whenever I'm off the alcohol and I'm exercising every day and I'm eating right. It's amazing. All right, so number 8. Number 8 is mental health. Mental health can suffer. I used to have an issue with this back early 30s, even I would say mid 30s as well. I was having issues whenever I left Amazon. I was having lots of issues in the management job when I left that management, job, Amazon as a manager. Yeah, I'm stepping over my words here, but I'm just saying, with the stress, the extra stress of that, and the extra stress of losing my father, and then we had to put my mother in the nursing home, and all that stress just piling on top of each other, on top of me not being active and me being inactive. If I was active back in those days, 5 years from now, or 5 years ago, if I was active back then, or even a few years, 2 years ago when I lost my father, I feel like I could have gotten through it a lot easier. When I lost my father, I lost my job, and it was just a dominoes effect, leading into Uber driving for almost a year, and then getting this job that I've got now, and now finally getting away from alcohol, starting to exercise. It has helped tremendously with my mind. And I put a couple points down here. Regular movement is associated with lower rates of depression and anxiety. So if you got depression, which I know it's huge out there right now because of the money situation of the entire world, depression and anxiety is huge right now. People are, concerned about where this country's going and the money that we're spending and all that. And the money, not enough money coming in some weeks, and not knowing how we're going to pay our bills and things of that sort. Anxiety and all that can weigh on you. But movement and exercise can help with that. It'll help clear your mind a lot better. You may have that anxiety. You may still have the anxiety about what's going to happen, but the depression, I feel, will ease with time if you continue to move and continue to make time for a little fitness and health and things of that sort. Eat right, things of that sort. Now, number 2 is exercise helps regulate mood and supports brain health. No doubt. Just what I just said, It definitely helps tremendously. And then movement isn't just medicine for the body, it's medicine for the mind. So freaking true. I don't know who said that, but that's a good quote. Movement isn't just medicine for the body of us moving and staying active, but it's also medicine for the mind, and makes total sense, especially after working out for a couple weeks, getting rid of the alcohol. It has cleared a lot of things up I still have a little joint pains, but it's not as bad as what it was. And I think those joint pains will eventually go away, or definitely become a little better as I get on and as I continue to move every day. All right. And then, so a couple more to add on here at the end. Starting around age 30, adults naturally lose muscle mass each decade if they don't actively work to maintain it. That's like, because that's exactly, when I look back at it, at my early 30s, that is kind of when I started declining, because I wasn't being active. I was drinking a lot. I was being careless and stupid and not focused on my health whatsoever. So that definitely makes sense. So if you're early 30s or late 20s, you need to make sure that you're exercising every day. You need to stay active. You need to, I'm not saying you need to give up drinking. I'm not saying that at all. But if you stay active, it will help tremendously, I think. And if you choose to give up drinking, great for you. But do I think that I'll never drink another drop of alcohol? No, I don't think so. Occasionally, I think I will have it again. But right now, it's what I'm telling myself. But after 90 days of not having it, maybe it'll be different for me. Because right now, I feel amazing. So, maybe. The good news is that strength training and regular activity can slow, stop, and even reverse much of the decline. So you can change at any age. Whether you're my age, which is almost 40, I'm 39 and I'll be 40 in October, or you're 35, or you're 32, or if you're 55 or 45, you can change by starting to get active and staying active every day. Start small. Start with 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I think, will be huge in a year from now. So 15 minutes every day, take a stroll, take a walk, be a little active. Try to stay more active during the day of doing your chores in the house, or if you have to take a break at lunch or something like that, eat your lunch at work, and go out and walk around the building a couple times. Stay a little active. I think that will go a world and make a world's difference. So I guess my big ending here is aging is inevitable. Declining faster than necessary isn't. Okay, so aging is inevitable. We're all going to age. But declining faster than necessary isn't inevitable. Staying active will help that. The body follows the demands we place on it. Move it, and it stays capable. Yeah. So if you move it, you stay capable. If you don't move it, you lose it. Simple as that. Ignore it, and eventually you'll lose it. And that's my 2 cents, guys. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week on the podcast.